All right, we'll go ahead and get started. Hello again, my name is Tanisha Adams. I am the Register Manager for Goodwill Education, Indianapolis, Indiana, Excel Center Schools. And today the Register team and I are presenting to you a session on teamwork makes the dream work, staying connected to your team and company during the pandemic. I think that we all can relate to this very important topic over the last year. I'm sure COVID has affected us personally and both professionally in various ways. So, all right, let's go ahead and get started. The picture you see is the team and myself. We have Tanisha Adams, we have Cami Betts, Brittany Woods, Diana Tolentino, Heather Roth, Cheryl Funches, and Janita Jordan. The outline for today is as follows. You're going to see some informative slides that will where I will talk about why staying connected is important. We'll also have a humor me slide. We're going to talk about different stats since COVID has hit. We're going to have a fun game of Kahoot. We're also going to learn about and talk about what burnout is, how to battle burnout, and some tips and tricks the team and I have used during burnout when we start feeling a little stressed out. We're also going to talk about staying connected as a team, staying connected with the company. You'll have time to reflect. We'll have a conclusion, and then our very last slide will list resources that we used for this presentation. Any questions before we jump in? No? Okay. All right, why is it important to stay connected? Staying connected increases productivity. That goes without saying. If you don't stay connected to your team and to your company, you're not sure what to do. And if you're not staying connected, the work doesn't get completed. If you don't hold your end of the deal and the work, then the next person's not able to do their job successfully. So it's definitely important to stay connected to increase productivity, get your work done, and stay on task. Number two, it also boosts morale. When you stay connected, you feel like you're part of the team. You feel like you know what's going on. You don't feel lost. You don't feel confused. You don't feel like, oh my God, I don't know what's going on. Another reason is why it's important to stay connected is you receive support when you need it. We're a team of 7. You stay connected. If I have a person for whatever reason that's not feeling good that day or needs to take PTO, staying connected, we're able to provide support to each other and fill in for that, either admin for that day or that register for that day. So definitely staying connected, receive support when you need it. And it combats loneliness. I know working from home, it's kind of just us now that the kids are back to school. And so it's really good to stay connected and see your team's face or see, your counterparts' faces, just so you are feeling like you're talking to another human and you're not alone. And that's last but not least, to piggyback off of number 4, building and strengthening those relationships are important. I know a lot of times we're just one part of the big circle for Goodwill. We're a team of 7, and we stay connected as much as we can, but it also is important for us to stay connected to the schools and to other departments of Goodwill, because we want to build and maintain those relationships. So one, they know who we are as individuals, but they also know who we are as a team, so they can rely on us and we can step up when needed. The humor me slide. So here are some stages of working from home. I know that we've all felt these stages because I know I have. The first stage is, you wake up in the morning, you're like, yeah, I get to work from home. How exciting, right? We're like, oh my God, I don't have to fight traffic. I don't have to stop at Starbucks in that long line. I can make me a cup of Joe from home and get my day going, right? And then the next stage, you're kind of sitting there thinking, it would really be nice to talk to someone. And then last but not least, it kind of gets, a little lonely when you're like, I hope that pigeon sits in the window today. For me, it's a dog, or my neighbor, their son is autistic, and I always know that he's up and ready for the day when he's banging on those drums. So, all right, the new normal, working from home stats. Prior to COVID-19, only about 7% of US employees worked remotely on a regular basis. 7%. Since March 2020, when COVID hit hard, the number of remote workers in the US skyrocketed as high as 62%. So I'm sure we all know that, because some of us was affected by this and started working from home either for the first time, or our schedules got changed and we were working from home every day instead of maybe just once or twice a week. As of September 2020, the number of remote workers has been holding steady at 40%. So from about March to September, it kind of dropped about 18%. And then it is estimated that 25 to 30% of the workforce will be working remotely multiple days a week by the end of 2020. So that is definitely an interesting fact. All right, we have come to our first Kahoot. So I am going to turn it over to Brittany. I am going to stop sharing, and Brittany is going to share, and we're going to play our first Kahoot poll.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'm Brittany. I'm going to be the game gal today, running the Kahoots. Again, in the chat, the web address is www.kahoot.it, and the code to get into the room is 1070416. I see I have 9 people in the waiting room right now. So I'll give you guys a few more seconds to get in. All right, I see more people. A few more seconds. All right. So these first couple questions are a few poll questions about.
Brittany, can you give, there's sorry to jump in. Can you give the Kahoot code one more time?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, Sylvia, that's correct. I'm sorry.
0416. And there's the code again. Okay. I want to share my screen with you guys. 3, 2. Share. All righty. So we're going to get started. Our first question is, which meme best describes your work from home persona? All right, it looks like we got a lot of studious people, a lot of snackers. I would say I fall in line with Johnny Bravo. A lot of this is fine. All right, and then our next question, our next poll. What does your work from home space look like? Wow, I see a lot of you guys are organized. I would say mine is more like the green slide with a little bit of the kids mixed in. All right. It's just it's interesting to see how we all had to adapt, to not being at our traditional workspace and having to just adapt. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen and kick it back over to Diana and Tanisha.
All righty. Thank you, Brittany. All right. Now, this topic of this was quite interesting to me because I know that we all have felt like one of these or maybe a couple of these, but I never knew that it was a title for it. So, what is burnout? Burnout is a state of emotional, physical, and mental exhaustion caused by excessive and prolonged stress. It occurs when you feel overwhelmed, emotionally drained, and unable to meet constant demands. And a couple of examples of burnout is being tired all the time, sleepless nights, aches and pains, high anxiety, weight gain, inability to keep things straight, anger issues at work, and depression. It all sounds horrible, but let's not stop there. Let's talk about how to deal with this. All right, battling burnout. With more of the workforce at home, there is a potential to reach a point of burnout quicker due to the unique circumstance of the pandemic, managing changes in the workload, feelings of uncertainty about employment and the world as a whole. Now I'm going to stop right here and I'm going to ask a question. So if you guys could give me just a couple of responses in the chat, what are some things that you do to battle burnout? And don't be shy. And Diana, if you could manage the chat, and then as people are putting comments in, if you could read those out loud for us, I would appreciate it. And as we are waiting for some of the...
said she likes to take long walks.
Great.
Steve says he will take a walk or sit in the hot tub. Can I come over? Corinne likes to talk to her favorite people. I'm sure that cute little baby is included into that.
Yes. All right, if we can have maybe like one more or two more. And while we're waiting for those two, enjoy that picture right there, because how many of us have felt like that? Like we're just trying to make it through the day and the whole world around us is just falling apart. So me on a Zoom call pretending my family isn't screaming. So if any of you have had the privilege of being on a Zoom call with me, you've heard either the twins or Mariah or me yelling at Jayla. You've heard one of the three. So do we have any more comments, Diana?
No.
Okay. All right. All right, let's go ahead and go on. All right, here are a couple of tips and tricks for battling burnout. Reorganize and refresh your workspace. So I'm going to pick on Brittany for a second. Brittany feels like she has that unorganized workspace. So you know what, after you get finished working for the day, go ahead and just reorganize your workspace or spruce up your workspace. Get yourself a bouquet of flowers or pictures of your family or pets or whatever puts a smile on your face. Try to incorporate that in your workspace just so it can give you positive vibes. Affirmations around your screen. I don't know how many of you are, but I am the sticky note queen. And so sometimes I have to write myself positive reinforcement notes because, you know, I would be lying to you if I told you every day is a good day, because it's not. But, you know, I write myself a note and I say, hey, you know what, you got this, or you rock, or hey, beautiful, you know, the sun's out, or just something, you know, write yourself positive affirmations and just stick it on one of those monitors you have when you're working from home or even in the office. Listen to good music and make a playlist. How many of us do that? I know we all like to listen to music. So just put your headphones in and vibe out and conquer the world. Set a schedule for yourself. Like this is my to-go-to. Like if I don't have that schedule and I can't pull it up on my cell phone and look at like what the day is like, just so I can stay on track, then I definitely know like I feel unorganized. So set yourself a schedule so you can prioritize your day and you can check those items off as you conquer each one of them. And if you need to change your routine, I had to do this when we first started working from home. I had my desk set up in the loft upstairs. And then I just kind of felt like I was away from everyone. So what I did was I changed my workspace downstairs And I don't know, I just kind of felt a little more alive. So maybe change your routine. Make a list of goals. Those can be daily goals, they can be weekly goals, or monthly goals. Make a list of, things that you want to get accomplished that may not be realistic right away, but that you need to get those goals accomplished. And get dressed for the day. That's very important, to get yourself up and start your day like you're going into the office, even though you're working from home. Get dressed, whether that's a full face full of makeup for you or whatever it is. Do your hair, put on a tie, whatever makes you feel like you're ready to start the day. Do that each and every day that you're working from home, and you definitely will feel more positive. And then last but not least, pick up a new skill. I know I didn't do this during COVID, but I know a lot of my coworkers picked up a new skill. I have a close friend who started making cookies, and I'm just like, oh my God, I never knew you had it in you, but she's awesome at it. So pick up a new skill. I know Brittany, I believe, started knitting. I'm not quite sure how far she's come with it, but she started knitting. So yeah. All right. Okay, we have one more Kahoot. I'll turn it over to Brittany, and then after Brittany, you've heard enough of me, so I'll let you hear some of Diana.
All right, it's the game gal again. We got 2 more Kahoot poll questions for you guys. 1 second. Share my screen. All right, so our next question. How is the connection with your team currently? Perfect. We got lots of perfects. 1 non-existent. Oh, sorry about that. You can chat with us if you need. Be a part of our team as needed. Got a couple of those. And our final Kahoot poll question is, how would you like your connection to be? Yeah, no change, your BFFs, or there's always room for growth? There's always room for growth. That's very true. And no change for BFFs. All right. So that'll be the end of our Kahoot poll questions. And I'm going to kick it over to Diana.
Hi guys. I'll have Tanisha finish sharing for us. Give her just a second. So I'm going to segue into team connections because most of us are a part of a team, no matter how big or small it is. So the biggest thing to remember about being a team is alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. So for right now, we're going to talk about staying engaged, because as we know, if we're not engaged, we're not going to want to do our best. So engagement is the emotional connection we have to the organization and its goals. Building an environment where employees feel a sense of genuine connection builds a team of invested individuals. So we're still individuals, but when we come together and we feel good about the environment that we're in, we're a strong team. So some of the rules of engagement are: be transparent and realistic. Keeping your teammates in the loop is an effective way to drive employee engagement. So don't leave anybody guessing on, well, is that project deadline this week, next week? Where are we all standing? Make room for continuous feedback and make sure that that feedback can be a two-way street. So give your team feedback, but also provide them opportunities for them to give you feedback. Create engaging activities. Nobody wants to be bored. And as we're engaging as a team, it allows this virtual world to be more connected. And then, of course, celebrate small victories and recognize your teammates. So our team, and I'm sure many of you do the same, we like to do shout outs and shining stars where we thank our teammates or just recognize some of their smaller accomplishments. And we also like to individually celebrate each person's birthdays just to remind them that they're special and we like to celebrate them. So just remember, you're doing a great job. You rock. So some of the ways that we like to infuse fun into our team are as follows. Do a virtual happy hour. There's nothing that says that you can't do a Zoom call wine tasting, so long as everyone can, participate. But as we'll find out in our after party later, there are many mocktail versions of cocktails. Do a step challenge, or like our friends at Clarksville, a water challenge. It'll get everybody involved. Plus, you can really do both of them at the same time. Take 15 minutes out of your day to walk and talk as a team, and don't make it just about work. Have a tiny campfire. If there's something coming up with a change or a project, take the time to just let everybody talk about it. Develop creative team engagement challenges on a regular basis. So kind of like that step challenge or that water challenge, you could also do workspace photos or recipe sharing or themed dress days, and you can consider a small prize for the winners as voted on either by your team or another team in the building that has that different perspective. Do a virtual book club. I mean, we all want each other's opinions on different things, and it can be a lot of fun. And then you can let people get to know your new coworkers, be that your kids, family, roommates, spouses, pets. And you can do that by hosting a virtual mixer. And then, of course, make video mandatory so we can see each other's beautiful faces. So we are going to turn it over for a moment, our last game to our game gal, which will be Never Have I Ever. So we're going to ask that everybody turns on their cameras for this game, please.
All right. It's me, the game gal, back with our final game. As Diana said, it's Never Have I Ever. And the directions are, if you have done it, okay, we're going to have 5 fingers. And if you have done the thing that I say, you put a finger down. All right. So here we go. Throughout quarantine, never have I ever hid in the bathroom from my kids and or spouse. Number 2, never have I ever attended a Zoom meeting in my pajamas. Number 3, throughout quarantine, never have I ever watched Tiger King. Throughout quarantine, never have I ever attempted a TikTok dance. And the last one is, throughout quarantine, never have I ever joined a Zoom meeting from bed. All right. All right, looks like I have no fingers left. I promise I'm a good employee. Okay, I'm done.
Brittany, you're a great employee. You're just switching up your location to be more productive. All right, so let's talk a little bit about company connections. So, feeling a sense of belonging, which is when we feel safe and valued for embracing what makes us different, makes us happier and more productive. We're also healthier and better able to cope with job stress. Not belonging, on the other hand, is among the strongest predictors of turnover. So people who feel connected to their work enjoy doing great work. This means higher productivity with less errors. So not only does staying connected benefit productivity, but it improves the health of the employees. So diversity is being invited to the party. Inclusion is being asked to dance. And feeling like you belong and belonging is dancing like nobody is watching. So here are some ways to stay connected to your company. Focus on the company's core values. Here in Central and Southern Indiana, a Goodwill Thank Yous, an employee meeting sparked a campaign to write thank you notes to members of your team as well as colleagues from other departments. So this allowed us all to not only express the gratitude that we have for our immediate team, but across the board. Join in volunteer opportunities to help other departments. Do computer setups or deployments around Indy. Do Indy cleanups. Help cover somebody's class if they're going to be out because they're quarantined. And if you're not already, join the company Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter pages, because then you can see what events are coming up if you don't know about any, or if they want to celebrate an employee or a student, you'll be in the know just that much faster. And then participate in or suggest a company challenge. And you could even do that on social media as well. Of course, we want to see everybody's ugly Christmas sweaters. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do that this year. So we want to hear from you guys. What tips or tricks will you take back to your teams? And feel free to unmute yourself and let us know. Or if you'd rather, you can put them in the comments. Either way, we'll be looking for them.
We want to hear from you guys. We're going to take about 2 or 3 minutes just so you can let us know what tips or tricks you're going to take back that you learned today, or maybe some interesting tips and tricks that you currently use with your team or in your school. So don't be shy.
I definitely like the never have I ever work related questions. So I think that would be something that would be really fun to do with the team, especially after what this year has brought and new learnings and new thought process of even how we work as an individual and then how that connects to our team and then to our organization. So I think I'm going to tap that one.
Zaida said they did a virtual after hours meeting in December to celebrate their accomplishments for the year.
Thank you, Corinne and Zaida, for sharing.
The last session I was in, we talked about, I can't think of the right words, the languages of appreciation in a workspace. And so like I've heard of love languages, but now like having that focused workplace thing and understanding how that coordinates in with that, I think goes really well with this session too, and like connecting all of those things together.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Jackie. It wasn't until Kent talked about in one of our staff meetings, and he actually had us do this in a staff meeting where we wrote the staff thank yous that Diana talked about. And, you know, I think we get so caught up in our day-to-day that we just expect, you know, this out of our team. But just to take a minute just to say, hey, you know, thank you. I saw that you took the extra step, and I just want to say thanks, or thank you for your hard work on this project, or thank you for staying late, or just whatever it is, just not forgetting to pat each other on the back, because that's so important. Okay. Can I have 2 more people share? It'll make my team and I feel really good that we did a great job. If you can give us like 2 more takeaways.
I really liked the idea of just seeing your other coworkers. It's just nice. We talk a lot about, you know, the people that are important in our lives and our day-to-day interactions with each other, but it's sometimes nice to put a face with a name, and especially the stories sometimes. And what we've done at Decatur is we've recently put up a fur babies wall in our staff conference area. So it's just for kind of us to see. But we've all put up pictures of our fur babies. And then on the other side are our real babies if we have them. And then on the flip side of that, it's kind of like a 3-panel wall, is our shout out wall. So we have, you know, just areas that we can kind of shout out internally for things that we appreciate about each other.
Thank you for sharing that, Sylvia.
And then Florence shared that they did a Zoom happy hour and then a parking lot movie and snacks. So they did an inflatable movie screen with a projector. That
Very
sounds like something that'd be
nice.
really fun.
Okay, thank you all for sharing.
So our conclusion to this and the things that we hope that you took away from it is find creative ways to stay connected. We don't know when we'll be back together permanently because you just never know. It's the world. It's this day and age right now. But also remember to take time for yourself. Don't let yourself get burnt out and stressed out to the point where you feel like you can't do your job. But also, if you ever get there, remember that you can reach out to your team and ask for help. Keep yourself motivated to remain an effective team player, whether that be time managing yourself or even just leaning on the people closest to you. So that way, everybody helps everybody. And then always remember, communication is key. You're not going to get anywhere with your team or anywhere unless you communicate with the people around you. So we have for you guys some virtual team building examples that we hope that you'll take away from them. And obviously we already know that some of you will be taking these games back with you. We hope that you will reach out and share your never have I evers, because I feel like some of them will be hilarious. We can definitely email them out. We can email out the entire presentation for you guys, and these sessions are being recorded, so if you ever need to refer back to something, they'll be available as well.
All right, and before we let you all go, are there any last minute questions, concerns, or comments on our session?
I did. I wasn't sure if this was appropriate to share in the last question you asked, but at my school, I started like a clothing, food, hygiene swap. And so it's open for like the students, but it's also open for staff. And so it's been kind of fun because like you can bring in one of those 3 things and you can also take any of those 3 things that are available. So it's been an interesting way to like bond over this time, especially like as folks are going to pantries and things, they're getting extra stuff they don't want. And so we're able to put that there. And it's just a cool way to see how, I mean, I know this is mainly for staff to staff, but to see how it kind of brings community to the school. And so there's something beautiful about everyone being on the same page when it comes to a project like that. But I kind of thought about that when we were like talking and I'm like, oh, I guess this kind of counts, kind of, sort of.
It counts. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's awesome. All right. Well, if there are no more questions or concerns or comments, we would just like to take this time to thank you all for joining our session. We finished a little early, so not only you can add 10 minutes to your break, so you get a total of 20 minutes. So you'll be able to use the restroom, grab a drink, maybe even walk outside for 2 minutes or something before your next session. So thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thank you.